Because I keep getting this video in my news feed where this girl keeps saying, don't ask God for wealth when it's your birthright. And she's wearing an expensive looking coat. She's driving an expensive looking car, judging by the interior. I want to tell, especially people of color, to stop thinking that your birthright is cash or property rich. It's not. You know, I told a sub on the channel that if people knew what I knew about what wealth really is, they would probably be very disappointed, but they don't understand how not seeing that your birthright is cash and property rich actually leads you to staying covered. See, staying covered is the real riches. Okay, when you are not in lack mindset, then you are not chasing cash or property rich. Okay, monks, they don't care about cash or property rich. They're not in the lack mindset. They feel they're more at peace than people who are driving expensive cars and living in expensive homes. All of that stuff is chains on you. All of it. All of it is a warden of you. Wealth has nothing to do with property and cash. Imagination and dream is your greatest wealth. And Albert Einstein tried to tell people that, but people did not listen. Your true power is in imagination and the power of spirit. And there is where you will not have to worry, where you will know that you are covered. You will not have to worry about having an expensive house or car. You know you are covered. How could anyone deny you when your spirit is so powerful? How? How can you possibly put something out there and it doesn't bring you something back? It has to. You tapped into the ultimate power of only things that angels need. Imagination and power of spiritual enlightenment. That's all the angels need. And they're covered. That really is all you need. And you're covered. When I was doing spiritual enlightenment a couple days ago, somebody randomly sent $200 to my Cash App. I got $200 sent to my Cash App for some stuff that I did weeks ago, even months ago. Why did that happen for me? Because I was in the energy of knowing that the true riches is inner peace, spiritual enlightenment, and imagination. And I put out that vibration. And when you have that vibration, people want to make sure that you're okay. What's wrong with just being okay? What's wrong with being able to have clothes and food and shelter and health care? What is wrong with just having those things and creative power and psychic strength? Why isn't that enough? It's enough for a lot of white people. It is. Okay, this is the truth. It is enough for a lot of people in India. It's enough for a lot of Asian people. They're living in their small Asian apartments. There's a guy on YouTube who cannot stop getting abundance because he is always in a positive mindset. He's an Asian dude. He lives in this small little apartment, very humble living. He rides his bike every day to work. He focuses on spiritual enlightenment, imagination, and creativity. So he cannot be denied. He focuses on teaching kids and helping the innocent and people who are hurt. So the creator makes sure he is okay. Okay? All right. Chasing the matrix wealth is too expensive energetically, mentally, spiritually. It's expensive. Okay? You want to be so powerful inwardly that you can do 30 minutes of work and it's like you did a lifetime of work. You want that type of power. Not the power, not the work ethics that the matrix people are thinking give them wealth. I have yet to see minorities, and I'm speaking to people of color who are black. I can only speak what I see in the black community on YouTube. I don't see black people saying you're entitled to your wealth, and they're sitting in videos and they're not showing a bunch of ice. They have a bunch of ice on. They're driving an expensive car. They're wearing a $300 leather coat. I'm wondering why black people are spreading that type of lesson on this is what makes you rich. If cash and property makes you rich, why are there people in the grave and they had millions of dollars in their bank account? Because it doesn't make you rich. Whatever brings you inner spiritual peace is what makes you rich. That's it. That is it. When I know that I served and I did a good job for humanity, I feel rich. I lay down and I say, well, it doesn't matter what so-and-so got. What I just did for humanity today was so powerful. I know that I'm special. I don't need an expensive car to remind me that I'm special. See, people want wealth so they can feel special. A lot of people want to buy fancy cars to be special. I wonder why in the black community, and I can only speak, why we don't focus on inner wealth, why we don't focus on creative wealth. I'm seeing all these white YouTubers with abundant creative channels, abundant psychic channels, abundant spiritual channels, but where are we? Where are we? We're not. We're not. Okay? So, no one is going to say you was wealthy because of your cars and your houses. No one's going to brag about you in that way when you die. No one's going to do that. In your obituary, no one's going to say you owned 3 houses and 5 cars, or you was driving a Porsche. No one's going to put that in your obituary. You don't have the final say on your obituary once you're dead. Your legacy is in your obituary. People will take those obituaries home to remind you what people say at your funeral. Wealth is legendary. It goes beyond your death. And all your property and your cash will be taken and used any kind of way when you die. You want wealth that outlives cash and property. It is the wealth of your name, your reputation, and your service in humanity. Okay? All right. I really hope people take this seriously. I'm extremely wealthy, creatively, literary. I'm extremely wealthy, spiritual and psychically, and with wisdom. If I was locked in a room with someone who had a fancy car and an expensive property, and we were in a room together, and it was just me and them, I would be wealthier than them. If we were talking and people were talking to us and people were asking us questions that, and we were giving original or um, insight, I would probably be wealthier than them. If we were both stranded on an island and we couldn't take our property and our cash with us, and all we had was spiritual enlightenment and creative energy, I would be wealthier than them. Okay. All right. There you go. Hi, everybody. If you tell what you will do in your life, I'm going to sub to you. I don't trick for subs. I don't trick for subs. But I'm already doing what I'm supposed to do in my life. I'm doing it right now. Okay? I'm celestial and I am of the light. And I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Okay? All right. Please watch your energy at this time. Some of y'all need to stop dumping, getting online between 4 and 6 o'clock and just dumping. Be mindful. Be mindful of your energy at this time, because how you are with your energy between 4 and 6, even in the morning, determines how you will manifest between 9 and 12. This, okay, lesson, classes in session. Be careful of how you treat other people's feelings and boundaries between 4 and 6 o'clock in the morning or in the evening, because it will determine whether what you'll be allowed to attract later in the day. I don't do what I love. I do me. Knowing thyself is the wealth. I know thyself. Okay? I don't have to love what I do every day. I don't even have to love me every day. But I do need to do me. It is me. Writing and spiritualism is me. I don't have to be deep in love with it. I just have to make sure that I remember that doing this is authentic to who I am. Just like you don't always love yourself completely. That don't mean that you throw yourself away. So it's just like no different than anything that you do in this world. Okay? I really hope people will start seeing the value more of inner wealth. Because when your inner wealth is celebrated, the outer wealth, meaning what you're worthy of, and your needs will be taken care of. Okay. A lot of people are matrix wealthy because they're doing tricks and manipulation and all that type of stuff. Most people would not be sitting on millions without doing tricks and manipulation and con artist type of stuff. If you're taking the straight path and being authentic, then believe it or not, a couple $100,000 a year is considered wealthy to the angels, because it covers your basic needs and allow you to be able to enjoy your life. If you're a single person racking in $100,000 a year and you're single with no kids, that's considered wealthy, because you're supposed to be living as a single person. You're not supposed to have a 5-bedroom, 4-bedroom house if you don't have anybody to live in those rooms. You're not supposed to be driving the most expensive car. because it's just you really in the car. Okay? It's not like you're going to car shows and it's a part of some extended abundance that you have. So what I'm saying is abundance is not based upon how expensive you're living. Abundance is how you can maintain comfortability in your life and inner peace. I don't want $1 million and be a tortured soul. What is the point? What is the point being a tortured soul, tempted to do drugs, tempted, real toxic to the family, and I'm sitting on all kind of money? No, that's not going to work. Okay? When you have the inner wealth, you pretty much have the wealth already, whatever you're chosen to get. As long as you keep expanding it and pushing it and putting it out there, then whatever you're supposed to get metaphysically has to show up physically. And it's always going to be in alignment of what you did or what you're doing. So when Matrix people try to say wealth is cars and fancy homes, that mean that's the type of people they gotta attract. Everybody that's chasing what they're chasing. But I want to attract people that's about inner wealth and creative wealth. So that is what I'm going to present more as my own wealth rather than product wealth. Okay? People want to have creative breakthroughs and level up creatively, but yet they're too busy focusing on expensive things. Charles Bukowski was not thinking of expensive things when he was writing all those books that would put him legendary in a museum. He was not thinking of how living expensive, manifesting expensive things. Neither was Hemingway. And when Hemingway did start spending that money on expensive things, basically he got blocked creatively. A lot of people who are sitting on loads of cash and expensive things, they end up having to do tricks to maintain that type of growth because they end up being blocked mentally. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I felt like I had to do this video because I'm sick of seeing that video come up in my news feed. If this world burned down today, no one's going to be thinking of expensive homes and cars. People are going to be thinking of just a safe shelter and pretty much protecting their energy. I'm just saying, y'all, and people are going to have no choice but to turn to their power within. If the technology went down, a lot of people wouldn't even be successful anymore if technology went down. Okay? They wouldn't. If technology went down and we were all living in pods and we were all limited to how expensive our cars can be, a lot of people would not be rich. A lot of people are getting rich by faking like they're cash rich or product rich. That's how they're getting rich. And I feel like if people got to show what they own and all that to get rich, then they're probably trying to cheat their way to infinite richness, and they're sacrificing something that's very special to do that. Okay, bye everybody. See y'all later.